Just came up to the 10:30 turn. Had a bit of delay today because I had a major catastrophe in here, emphasising the cat part of that. Somehow my cat had got locked in here and knocked a few things about, so it took me quite a while to put things in order. These were sort of all over the place, and I've got them pretty much in the right place, and of course I've got the video to check. So let's see what's been going on. I forgot to mention in my last video the Prussians. Here we can see that they have a red marker on, which shows that they are now desperate. Okay, and there's not really very much of them left. They are just being kept eye on by Kellermann's cavalry, and we can see the rest of the French infantry that were attacking over there, which was a 9th Corps, coming across to help the Guard cavalry and the other cavalry corps. I forget who else was in there. 5th Cavalry Corps, who are having a few problems against this Russian position with the guns. Okay, very powerful force. They've had a go at charging the guns and the squares just to see, but nothing going on there. So they're waiting. They've now got the infantry coming across to help assault them, and they're going to bring these guns forward at the back there. So the Russians have done quite well. Again, it was those grenadiers that arrived during the night time, and they have got the Gallenberg heights there. No need to push further across at the moment because it's all sort of happening here. Now the Prussians, after not doing anything for a long time, have been pushing on. Now they hasn't gone particularly well, but that wasn't unexpected. The main thing they were trying to do is stop the French line here from coming back round here to the Guards, which they've done a relatively good job at so far. We can see the Guard have come across. We can see most of the cavalry is across. We had an attempted charge at some guns here, but they were counter-charged by some light French cavalry, which didn't really cause them any harm. However, it did slow them down. Obviously, they picked up a few casualties from the guns, which have now been eliminated. Spreading across here, there's quite a few units here. I mean, some good units there, but there's quite a few casualties on those, so they're sort of biding their time. But you've got some incredibly powerful units here that are going across. These guys here, and up here, the Guard units are very powerful. So they're sort of washing the Young Guard away. I mean, the Young Guard are giving a good account of themselves, but the Young Guard, the 2nd Young Guard, they're sort of caught between two places. You can see by Mortimer in the middle there. So they're sort of they need to pull back. I mean, there looks like there's quite a few units here, but Victor's Corps, you can see from, if I go down, all the casualty tokens underneath them are pretty well spent. It was only really their cavalry force that was in any sort of good shape of order, but they're not going to stand long against the Guard cavalry here, but it will buy them a little bit of time. I just pop back here for a minute because the Austrian Corps that have come on have made an immediate impact. Okay, their original orders were to join the other Austrians, but once they were sort of demoralised, they had new orders to take this area, okay, between Goldengosse and Sturmthal. A lot of them still in here, working their way forward. The cavalry's had a bit of a go, slowed something down, but these guys have smashed into the side of the French column here of 9 Corps that were coming across to help the Russians. Just move back a bit so you can see a bit more of what's going on there. So moving back along here, this is quite exciting. It's taken me quite a long time at the moment, but they're just going to keep pushing on. These guys, well, the problem they have is there was the corps up here, which was 5th Corps, but they're in quite a bad way. They've recovered a fair bit. We'll have to see. I mean, there's some very good. Are they Marines? I'm not too sure who those guys are. I don't recognise the flag, but there's some very good units there, possibly Marines, I'm not too sure. Moving across here, we can see that the French have driven out the unit. Here's the Kolovitz. You can see they've had to flee through across this way. There's only one unit remaining there, but it's quite a tough one. At the moment, there's still quite a few of these, and these guns have been particularly effective of whittling down anything that's on here. So I think even though my fatigue's only on 4, I think these are going to receive orders to continue their attack. They're on a sort of a defence order at the moment while they're recovering. But I think they need to keep the pressure, I think particularly on the young guard here. Because they are going to get very stretched. So they do at the moment. The Allies look like they might push through there at some point. Midday possibly, before, if not before. Okay, over here things are pretty static, just a rather ineffective artillery duel going on. Coming over to here, again the Allies have been pushing on. We've got Ney and Third Corps rushing across here to get his defence. We see the Russians deploying forward as well. They've nearly got into line there, joining up here. But the real action's happened in mock turn. Just this last turn, the Prussians have attacked. Didn't go particularly well, but didn't go particularly bad. It was all a bit ineffective, really. They're hoping to knock these guns out of here. They've done very effectively, taking out the French guns, particularly. And they come with quite some powerful forces, but they sort of met their match along the line here at the moment. So that's held up pretty much as it is. I think next turn there might be a general. Well, have to be a bit careful here. There's still quite powerful artillery here, so I'm not sure. I'm going to have to think about what to do there. And the other big decision that Napoleon made, which I mentioned in the last video, is with the young guard. The other young guard unit, where should they go? And you can see the decision has been to send them here to the north. I think there's only more units arriving here at the moment. Those orders were sent to them before the situation here, which changed quite rapidly. There's some very good units in there. So I think the French will need to pull back and set up a line here. Again, things could crumble very quickly over here. These Austrians arrived just in time, because I think cavalry and this corps here, although they've taken a few hits, would wash away the Russians here, and suddenly they're at the rear. Could be quite nasty, but I'm not sure. It depends getting orders to these guys. But I mean, they're not far to receive new orders. I mean, really want to push them on. With the difficulty, you don't want to push them on too far because they'll be in the open here. With the infantry there, they're just going to get sort of pretty well hammered. We've got the Austrian, Prussian cavalry. Some have regained good order. There's a couple of hits on these guys. One of the things that happened with all the pieces, a lot of the hit markers went. So I've just pulled them off the board, and as I'm using the units, I'm checking the sheets and putting them back on. So that's where we are. So we were just have a little overview of the battle. It's getting very big. The turns are getting quite long. And I must say, it's not looking good for Napoleon already. I can't see where the breakthrough is going to happen. The great hope was, of course, this move over here, which has been incredibly successful for what it is asked to do. The first part, which is obviously take out these Austrians here, come back and take the guns from the side here. But the Prussian cavalry coming in, the Cossacks took a while to wash out the way. I mean, they've had it pretty much, but they've been taken out. Just bought the Russians enough time to get this line here. Bit touch and go on the Gallenberg, but the Russians held again those grenadiers that came. Of course, these guys, there's lots of, I mean, this has all happened just this turn, so these guys have all just become disorganised. And it's possible they attack. I don't know. I think they'd be more happy to try and get these guys off there, really. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Prussians. We just keep pushing on. I don't mind at the moment quite what happens to them, really. As long as not too many get wounded, disorganised is fine, because I don't think they're going to be pursued. Unless, of course, the French here. I mean, I don't think the French bring their cavalry all the way around here. They're going to be pretty well sort of hemmed in a bit, so I think they probably won't do that. Crowded in here, but I think imminently they're going to make a breakout. I mean, next turn, a couple of charges here. I'm sure they'll bring some guns round. This stuff here could be just charged. That could just be eliminated quite quickly, I think. The young guard here are tough. They've had a few unfortunate rolls. I mean, this unit here particularly. I mean, he's a 10 morale guy, and I don't think he even took a hit, but he managed to foul a morale. So that must have rolled 11 or 12. I can't quite remember. They're all quite fatigued as well, so maybe that's what helped that one go down. And that's where we are. Okay, so I'll just come down here and do my sort of shot of the whole battlefield, so we can see the enormity of it all. It definitely feels quite a grand scale. And obviously I'm going to check there's no cats in here when I close the door. Okay, signing off. Next video coming up soon.